Hello everyone and welcome back to my lecture. This is Sakibuzzaman from Rajshahi Medical College Dental Unit. Session 18 to 19. Today's topic for discussion is casting and swagging, second part. This is a very important topic, it is asked frequently in exams. I request all of you to watch the lecture on casting and swagging, first part, which I have already uploaded. So in this lecture we will be starting steps in casting. Principle of casting or casting procedure.
প্রথমে আমরা স্কেলিং করব আল্ট্রাসনিক স্কেলার মেশিন দিয়ে, তারপর ডেন্টাল সিরিঞ্জ দিয়ে অ্যানেস্থেশিয়া দিব। অ্যানেস্থেশিয়া দিয়ে টুথ আইসোলেশন করে টুথ প্রিপারেশন করতে হবে, অতঃপর ইমপ্রেশন নিতে হবে। ইমপ্রেশন নেওয়ার ক্ষেত্রে খেয়াল করতে হবে যে কী দিয়ে আমরা ইমপ্রেশন নিচ্ছি। আমরা ইমপ্রেশন নিব এলজিনেট অথবা জিঙ্ক অক্সাইড ইউজেনল পেস্ট দিয়ে, এলাস্টোমার দিয়ে নেওয়া হয় না, কেননা খরচ অনেক বেশি হয়। তারপর মডেল তৈরি করব অবশ্যই হার্ড প্লাস্টার দিয়ে। মডেল তৈরি করার পর মডেল ডুপ্লিকেশন করতে হবে এগার দিয়ে। তারপর ডাই প্রিপারেশন করে ওয়াক্স প্যাটার্ন ফেব্রিকেশন করব ইনলে কাস্টিং ওয়াক্স দিয়ে।
3. Attachment of the sprue former into the thickest point of the wax pattern.
ওয়াক্স প্যাটার্নের হাইয়েস্ট পয়েন্ট ও থিকেস্ট পয়েন্টে স্প্রু ফর্মারটিকে অ্যাটাচ করতে হবে।
4. Attachment of the reservoir into the sprue former, 1 to 2 mm away from the wax pattern.
রিজার্ভয়ারটিকে স্প্রু ফর্মারে অ্যাটাচ করতে হবে।
5. Other end of the sprue former attached to the center of the crucible former which form the shape of crucible.
স্প্রু ফর্মারের একটা এন্ডে ওয়াক্স প্যাটার্ন অ্যাটাচ রয়েছে, আর অন্য একটা এন্ডে ক্রুসিবল ফর্মারকে সেন্ট্রালি অ্যাটাচ করতে হবে।
6. Placement of ring liner inside the casting ring. A ring liner is placed inside of the casting ring. 7. Placement of casting ring into the crucible former. 8. Investing the wax pattern with invest material. Type 4 gypsum product. 9. Wax burnout. Remove the crucible former in. Start to heat the casting ring, then the wax start to melt in. Come out through the channel and whole wax will remove in. Creates a vacant space and this is the mold. When heat is 200 C, then the casting ring will ups and down, when metal start to solid by decreasing temperature. 10. Casting the mold. 11. Recovery of cast. 12. Sand blasting and recovery. 13. Trimming. 14. Polishing. What is sprue former? Give the functions of it. Sprue former. The wax or metal form that is being used to make the aperture is called a sprue former. Functions of sprue former. 1. To form a mount for the wax pattern. 2. To create a channel for the elimination of wax during burnout. 3. Forms a channel for entry of molten alloy during casting. What is casting ring liner and its functions? Casting ring liner. A ring liner is placed inside of the casting ring. It should be short at one end. Earlier asbestos liners were used. Functions of the casting ring liner. 1. Alloys for the mold expansion. 2. When the ring is transferred from the furnace to the casting machine, it reduce heat losses. It is a thermal insulator. 3. Permits easy removal of the investment after casting. What is swagging? Swagging. Swagging is the process or technique in which a sheet metal or alloy is fabricated in between a die and a counter die by the application of pressure. General principles of swagging. The conventional method of swagging denture bases involves the following procedure. 1. An impression of the denture bearing area, for making a denture base, or a tooth, for making a small crown, is taken and a model is cast from it by the usual way. 2. An impression of the original model is taken. 3. From this impression, an expanded model is prepared. 4. From the expanded model, a mold in sand is made. 5. Required quantity of a die alloy is taken and it is melted. 6. From the die, a counter die is prepared, using a counter die alloy having a lower melting point than the die material. 7. The metallic sheet, stainless steel or gold, is now pressed between the die and counter die in a hydraulic press. Defects in swagging. A. Dimensional inaccuracy. B. Loss of finer detail. C. Damage of die and counter die. D. Ununiformity of thickness. E. Wrinkling of the plate. Some important question of casting and swagging. What is casting? What are the purpose of casting? What are the defects of casting? What are the causes of incomplete casting? What are causes of casting failure? What are the causes of porosity in casting and how will overcome it? How will you prepare to crown by casting procedure? Short notes. Fins on casting. Incomplete casting. Casting porosity. Swagging. Thank you all. Also share this lecture with all your friends and sharing knowledge. Stay home. Stay safe. Stay with Axis Dental School.